All right, fine. So basically, here's the camera view, and my idea was if we pulled this off and did a basic scene. So this is the back of the bar, and then of course we have, let's see, we've got the bartender, and this is the looking top view. Then we have camper, which is probably about here. We've got the bounty hunter. Excuse me, the bounty. It's about right there.
Hmm.
Um, and then we have. Oh shoot, I forgot something.
Yeah, you got
Bartender's
the
there.
bar.
The bar would be here. Sorry.
Yes.
Thank you. Um, and so we did one, two, and maybe Chris, you had mentioned having like two guys having a drink or whatever. There, two alien dudes, whatever. Is
Sure.
here? But the idea is, if we did this, then through the different shots, like where we can kind of actually push in a little bit, where you see Camper walk, you see like the back of her walking in, and she's up. All of a sudden, she's to the bar, and she says she orders her drink. Um, the rest of it, the only thing is needed, and the way we could actually make it look like we've done a lot more is because of the camera. Because all of a sudden, if we decide to focus directly
Uh-huh.
on the bounty guy, you know, and he's saying something, and Camper says you're wanted for this crime. We could actually do a tight close up of just her mouth talking if we wanted to, and then cut back. So the idea is kind of like we did with Black Blood White. It is one scene, but between jump cuts and some like pushing in and stuff like that, we're animating everything that's normal, but then coming in and really pushing all the camera work.
Right. Of
Does that make any sense?
course. So you're doing it in one scene, and it's, I mean, in that sense, it's like a Family Guy or an American Dad. You can just do entire, you know, you can do entire scenes with that angle, and obviously, depending on the type of humor you have, you could just do it all in one shot. It doesn't have to be a lot of camera work. But if you're trying to create more of a hero, superhero type experience, and you want to do it that way, what I would say is that you have that option of changing your background out, changing your I guess I don't know if this is in terms of like what Tundra can do quickly, but changing your palette out. Did you see Speed Racer, the
Like
movie?
the movie, yeah.
Remember the scene where Racer X is um, attacking the truck full of gangsters?
No, I can't remember. I think I watched it once.
I bet if you go online, you could find this whole scene
Okay.
of Racer X attacking the gangsters in the truck and everything. It's the way they use color in that to kind of just shift the drama and just really like certain moments where the screen and the composition is very flat and side scrolling kind of, and then
Okay.
they just bring in this like full red only type like you're looking at an infrared type palette, that's just so you can get away with if you're trying to create that sense of like comic book level action, you can just cheat a different background in there for those close-up shots, and or no background at all, just color like a color or like a real abstract sort of thing. That and then hopefully that's why I'm saying like if you could do the same thing to the character to kind of counterbalance the palette a little bit. But if you watch that scene, you'll see how they're playing with palette to kind of give many layers of emotion, just and exciting dynamics to that one setting of being inside the back of a truck or being just on the outside of the truck.
Okay. I like that actually. And I know we had just started looking at color tints of the entire of the palette. So
Oh,
um, I do know one thing that and it's my cheat. I think if we had maybe a few more days to do this, I would maybe show exactly what's happening to the bounty's arm. But I think what I'm going to do is we'll cut to to the bartender, just kind of his response to what's happening, and you have the sound effects.
Yeah, it's actually I like that idea when the way you had it written. I mean, it's again, what are you setting up story-wise, right? So um, if this is everybody's first time seeing this, and then they look at her arm and they see that it's changed, they might not get it. You know, you might, unless you're trying to set it up that way. Like, what mysterious thing just happened? It obviously was very
Well,
emotional because the guy reacted to it that way.
what the idea that Lamont was talking to me, we talked about this a couple of months ago when we first talked. We talked about the scene, and it's it's like what happens is she's sitting there when she orders a drink. She's just got her normal hand, and so the guy when he starts talking to her, you see her kind of go cycle, 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 blade, cycle, 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 this sort of, and so she's playing around with this, and then she lands on the puppet, and so it's almost like the Terminator, I think, where he's choosing what is he going to respond with when somebody says something. So in order to make sure the audience gets the joke, you see her kind of going. So Chris, we're still at 1, 2. As far as scene wise, 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we on 4 or are we doing 3? Do you follow what I'm asking you?
Are you talking to me? Sorry, what?
So it's like we're for the scene.
Right.
We're doing whatever is covering the back wall, the bar wall. Then there's the bar. 2 guys there, and this could actually just be an empty table. If you want, even if you want to copy that table and just without the guys in it or something.
Well, thank you. I'll do that. That was a joke, by the way.
Is there a guy? So there are guys at a table, like character.
Yeah, and nothing major. Because either through just a simple bone or even just a simple eye blink or whatever, they'll have a little bit of motion. I mean, but they're not going to be in the shot long enough. It's just kind of to push the idea of, oh, this is a pretty in-depth scene, which is the cool part about the camera anyway.
Right.
All right. Because we are not. The only question I have, and this is a Mr. Tony Grillo question. I guess I don't have to say your last name since it's just, I don't know. I don't know. We're recording. So, Tony G, do you think we need an establishing shot to do this, or is it okay just to kind of open up inside the bar?
You mean like an exterior?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you need that. I mean, I think if you especially, I mean, you're creating something very short and quick here, you know?
Okay, cool.
Your pacing is going to be very, you know, it's going to have to fit that shortness. I don't think that's expected. You could either start with like that sort of, I would generally open with like a nice slow push in, you know, things kind of going past you, you know, fade in, and you see her kind of walking up to the bar in that shot. But you could also kind of, you know, do your quick little credits over some kind of murky background, and then fade in, and you see that background is a drink on the counter, or so, you know, like you could get away with that kind of thing. Have the hand come down, you know, bartender, I'll have a organic water, that kind of thing.
By the way, we're not friends on Facebook or anything. Please convey to Tanya, I am in love and in awe with her read, and I've played it at least 20 times already, and each time I play it, I like it more. So it's like, yeah, that's Camper.
She gets that a lot. It's funny. You know, she doesn't think of herself as talented at all in the voice area, but she's like, helped me so many times. You know, just, oh, honey, I need something quick. You know, uh, so she's like, I'm like, you're good. You know, you're always there in a pinch. You're fast. You know, this is, I think you're doing great. So I will definitely convey that to her.
Yeah, it was nice, and because that's one thing. Because normally what I typically end up doing is I'll send a referee to someone and go, here's my idea, but surprise me. You know, I'm not attached to this, and yeah, it was very nice, and
I'm looking on here on how to suggest friends. I don't. I guess it used to be under find friends. Blah, blah, blah.
well, if I sent her, I think I sent her a request. So
You did today?
yeah, I just
Oh,
did. I was like, yeah.
it'd be good then. Yeah.